J Drone here. What's going on, guys? I got a Chinese diesel heater that we are going to go install in our van. That is your exit exhaust, which I'll show you underneath where that goes. This is a muffler for that exhaust. This is an air filter for the pipe that I already have on, which is for fresh air. And this can go onto here to redirect the air, kind of like as a vent if you need it in your controller. This is the bottom of it. There is a outlet here and an outlet here. I'm assuming this one is for the clean air, just because I've seen people route it exactly how I have. I've also seen people not run this pipe on the exterior of the vehicle. It is just intaking air. As long as you have fresh air coming in, I don't see why that would be necessary. Unsure if we're going to run that out or not. Another reason, this is your fuel line. I wouldn't think that it would be butted up right against your exhaust, and this is going to be your exhaust. That will definitely have to be ran outside and out to the side of the vehicle. Right, so let's take a peek inside my van before we do anything. We have my bed here, storage underneath there. We have a catch-all here, which is really messy. The battery connections are very poorly set up, so I'm going to take the time to actually set them up properly. That way we don't have to worry about nothing, since we're hooking up a heating mechanism, and we don't want anything as squirrely as that. So we got that area pretty much cleaned out. Initially I wanted this over there, but it might be smarter to keep it away from that's where I fuel the vehicle, on the outside, and where the batteries are. So I think we may go over here. All right, you can see we've gone away from gator clips and actually have pretty heavy gauge wire connecting the batteries in parallel. Then we have our positive and negative for a solar panel that goes into there. These might actually get tucked back behind there, I'm unsure. Alright, so I've went with the batteries behind the seat. I think we're going to try to go over here with it. There is a couple things, like the electrical for, I think, airbag or something's around in here somewhere. So I think it's just going to be lightly drilling pilot holes and seeing where they come out. Then once I get the holes for like here and here and here and here, then I can make measurements and see where the holes for the exhaust need to go. So if you can see that zip tie moving around, and you can see daylight through there, those were our first two mount holes, which would leave absolutely no room for the exhaust. So somehow, I don't know, I think I might just drill a hole. I don't know. It's gonna be tough, because initially the hole would be like right here where it needs to be. I mean, if I go down the line there, that's basically behind the seat, the passenger seat, which might be what we have to do, and maybe drilling the hole for the exhaust first is going to be the way I'm going to have to go here. So back over here where I had originally thought, this right here is approximately where the exhaust is going to need to go out. You can see I've dropped a zip tie down it as kind of a pilot hole, just to see where that is right there. I'll try to get over, which should be easy peasy to drill a hole and get the exhaust out. That's where I'm at right now. I cut the rubber around it, more than adequate enough space. So we're gonna get the hole drilled, and then my flooring here I might just hollow out an area for underneath this, but leave it so it looks like it's still flooring around it, and not just puzzle pieces that are empty. All right, so setting up your pipes should look something like this. Again, air intake next to your fuel line, and then you have your exhaust here. They made it really difficult to wrench on these, but I got that pretty tight. So we're gonna go ahead and drop it in the hole. We have our floor cut out to compensate as well. So the canister on there is an air filter for your air intake. There is also another air intake there. I think we are just going to leave that like that, because this door is far from sealed property. Lots of air comes in it, and we will also be leaving a window crack, so I think we'll be fine with that. Underneath the vehicle, you can see our exhaust is coming down. We are going to probably pitch that this way somehow. Definitely want to get it away from the vehicle and out the side as much as possible. We may have to go buy another extender pipe to do that. All right, so that's how I have it ran. I have it hooked. I'll show you. Up in there. Ideally, I'd still like to run it over to there, so I might grab another pipe. But we're gonna go ahead and bolt it down. There is a muffler. I don't know if we're gonna install it or not. We'll have to see what it sounds like. But there is a weeping hole right there, so you should install it like this. That way water can go out. You should not install it like this. It should be installed like that. All right, so the van is a mess. So I'm gonna have fun. I mean, I'm gonna take out what we don't need. I think there's a lot of stuff in here that we actually do not need. But this is stationary. Again, I think I'm gonna leave that like that because I know 300% the sliding door is not sealed 100% because a nice draft comes in, which will allow for we're gonna go fuel this and then power it up and see what happens. Right. If you can see my solar controller, we're sitting at like 13.9. We got like 0.1 amps coming in. If I was charging, I'd have more amps coming in, but the solar controller holds it at 14 volts. As you can see, we're almost hitting 14. So I think what we're going to do here, we're just going to use our jumper cables because they definitely should be rated for the power that this needs to go through the wires. Positive and negative to here, which we already have the negative, so we're just going to connect the positive and see what happens. The instructions for this were not that great, so hopefully it kind of just does its own thing and we don't have too much to figure out. So as soon as I turned it on, it said, "Welcome to your style heater, heating level 10." And that's what it shows right now. Okay, it's just started clicking, like I told you. Don't feel any warm air yet. Up here, if we can see our solar controller, we are sitting at, it's tough to see, 12.6. All right. Still no warm air yet that I can feel on my hands. My hands are pretty close to it. I kind of have it back here. Fan has picked up considerably. Ticking is picking up considerably. Ticking and fan has picked up considerably. A little nerve-wracking. Still don't feel no heat. Now that fan's pushing. Still don't feel no heat. Try to see, I think I hear flame though. We are sitting at 12.7. Maybe extremely moderate heat, like really low. That's not going to heat the van though. I guess once it starts doing something else, I will let you know. So we're still waiting for heat. We might actually have some heat now. I'll tell you in a minute. You can almost hear a different sound, like a type sound. Oh yeah, we got heat. This thing's gonna be king. Oh, that's warm too, really warm. Let's just see what our solar's sitting at. That fan picked up considerably. 12.5. I don't know if I could show you. We'll try to. 12.5. You should be able to see it. So this thing's definitely not going to dent my batteries during the daytime because I have solar constantly going into them. Like my amps. Let's see. I told you if we were charging something, my amps would probably go up. I bet you my amps there. We're pulling in 2.8, almost 3 amps. That's the upper left number, which is allowing it to sit at 12.6. And it won't show the draw. The only reason it won't show the draw is because we're not drawing directly off this, although we could have. And that thing just got faster. Now we're pulling 3.2 amps, 3.1 amps. This is going to be a perfect setup for me. Perfect. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is going to be great. I'm stoked. Super excited about this. That's really hot air. Alright, I'm J-Drone. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Maybe when I get the van cleaned up, we'll show you that too. But it was basically about this. Before I decide to shut this down, we'll go ahead and show you this. It's amping up to level 10 because I just decreased the speed. And she talked. Kind of want to get her talking on camera. Dude, it's warm in here. It's real warm in here. I also want to extend that pipe out to the runner. That way the exhaust ain't kind of hovering underneath the vehicle, although with the wind I'm sure it's not, but just to be safe. So we're going to go ahead and... Level 1. This is awesome. And then let's just check our voltage at level 1, because clearly that's running. We're sitting at 12.7 with 2.3 amps coming in. 12.8 with 3.3 amps coming in. And then just to show you if you want to shut it off.
Stop heating, shutting down.
So we're getting there as far as organizing the van. I think I'm actually going to leave this out, and I think we're going to get a dresser or something to put in there for our clothes. That way we don't got to go underneath there for our clothes or anything. We could actually maybe have a couple drawers to access. Unsure what I'm going to do about the catch-all. I have a bunch more tools. I do like to carry tools with me. As you can see, my jack is now standing upright. My 4-way is over there. We're going to try to maximize space here and also make it as functional as possible. Where this is, again, I could just fuel up. Don't got to worry about getting stuff in the car if it was over there or over there. And it doesn't impede me from getting in. There's a large enough area here that I can go over here, just like I did right now, just as well as in here, which we haven't cleaned up yet. Those were my main two things, being able to access here and be able to access this door. Alright guys, so I'm kind of just chilling in my van. It is freezing outside. Temperature dropped considerably. Once you already had this started and ran, you'll get heat a lot quicker. The first time it takes a while to circulate. If you can see, I don't know that you'll be able to see it. 12.4. The sun is no longer up. We are no longer taking in any type of amps. So I'm going to let the van warm up, and then I'm going to turn down the temperature and see what that settles at. Alright, so we're running on the lowest temperature and the lowest fan speed. Go up here, zoom in and focus. 12.5. Dude, this thing probably would not drop below 12.2 if I ran it all night. Absolutely thrilled with this. If you haven't subscribed, smash the subscribe button. Questions, comments, concerns, put it down below. Just to show you guys, my battery is probably going to level out at 12.7, 12.8, sitting at 12.7. So that thing barely put a draw on those two batteries, man, barely. And during the daytime, if I ever got to run this during the daytime, I don't got to worry about nothing because the solar is going to keep up with it and the battery is going to stay supercharged.